Good evening and welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. Today we're going to talk to you about a couple of different bird things. All right, we're going to show you how we're fixing to set up our quail. We're going to talk about why we're not going to use this type of housing system where you have one directly above the second. We're also going to talk to you about how our chickens are going to have their run, will have quail in it, but the quail will be caged. They also have rabbits in their run. The rabbits are caged. So we're going to show you that setup and how we're going to ensure that our quail and our chickens have a protein source in the run for them. Now the quail, I will have to give the protein to because it will be below their pens. But it's a pretty cool setup. It will knock out the odor. It will knock out the major diseases you have to worry about. And it is a composting system that you cannot beat, especially if you're dealing with this heat that we're dealing with, because it's almost 7 o'clock and that's why this video is getting made now. I'm tired of sweating today, guys. I mean, it is hot. So stick through the video. Some great information on water, how to keep a flow to the watering system, especially if in an area where it's really hot. Your animals are going to need continual, fresh, cool water, and we're going to help you get that for them. So I hope that you enjoy this. Hang in there through the video with us. Take some notes. Rewind a couple of times. Hit the subscribe, the like, and the comments. Please let us know. Comment. What are you doing with your quail? What are you doing with your chickens? How are you going to secure their protein as bagged pelleted feeds continue to go up and up and up? Because I don't know about you guys, but we got our electric bill in this month and it doubled. It's over $400. We've done nothing different on our farm. So just want to tell you guys that be expecting prices to continue to go up. We need to think through this as a community, as a state, as a country, and as a world. How are we going to go back to the more natural ways of feeding our animals? And you know what I think will happen? I think this is going to be a blessing for all of us. We're going to quit putting our money back into the big manufacturers of bagged feed and the toxins and the horrible things that they're putting into this feed. And we're going to have to, like they did after the Great Depression, come up with ways around those problems and become more self-sustainable and self-sufficient. And I think as a country, we're going to nail it. Because I don't know about you guys, but we are blessed to have my parents still alive and healthy, and Papa Sammy, and you can check his YouTube channel out, Papa Sammy and Allybug. He is always available to us for anything that we need. Dad, how do I, store eggs? How do I do this? He's 80. He was born right after the Great Depression. You're going to see a lot of videos coming up about canning and food preservation and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video on quail and chickens, deep mulch systems and runs, and you guys have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.
This is my automatic watering.
All right, what's the black milk crate for?
To secure it.
To secure it. Okay, that makes sense.
All right. Cheapest, easiest way to make automatic water without having to come out here and fill it up all the time. Regular old toilet float. You can buy them anywhere. It's Home Depot, well, Walmart, Lowe's, online. Just a toilet bowl float. And then you go down here to where you connect it to the water hose. It goes from the water line. Alright, this is the water line right here. It comes off of a toilet, goes down to a PVC pipe. This PVC pipe goes down, screws here, PVC pipe to another fitting that screws to your hose. Now all I have to do is turn the water on, and you leave it on for, well, you leave it on all the time, and it just, when it starts getting low, they fill it back up.
So the float controls how much water is pumped into it, correct?
It controls water staying in there. Once it goes so far down,
it'll let it come in.
It's just like a toilet. Like you flush your toilet, the water goes out, and the float gets too low, and it starts raising back up when the water's coming in, and it stops. So you don't have an overflow. You don't never have to stand here and just watch it.
All right, so where is your water coming from?
It comes from my well.
So we didn't, well, we probably kind of did. It's the coolest place, like the temperature-wise, the coolest place on the entire farm.
It's gonna stay cooler going into theirs because it comes straight out of the well, like what? That's 5 inches from the well, the holding tank.
Oh, I hear it. Okay.
Now there's water going inside of it. It's raising right now.
It is. Okay. Guys, I have to say I'm very impressed with my husband.
Well, this idea, I got this idea from the guy we got the quail from, and the guy we got the quail from
is my cousin, Stacy Ali.
Yes, and that is his original setup. I'm gonna build some more, but like I said, you can buy all this stuff from right there at Home Depot. Matter of fact, you can get the water hose from Home Depot. Everything you need right there.
At what stage is it cut off?
As soon as it floats all the way to the top of the where it needs to go, it'll stop.
Okay, I'm impressed.
It should be about to stop.
It may have. I don't think it's rising anymore.
Yeah, it ain't gonna. It's hard to really tell when it stops. And then you put a lid on top of it. That way you don't have leaves. You don't have debris falling into it.
All right, so this is the lid he's talking about. You put your lid.
Secure it on there. Don't just set it in front of it. Comes through these little watering hole tubes, and I got some little waterers up inside here. See, I can take. And the water's running out. After a few minutes,
now, how would you clean the insides of these tubes? Because I see they've got a little, is that outside debris on there?
Yeah, that's outside debris.
All right, so the insides of the tubes are clean?
Yes, I
bleached them?
I blew an air hose through them.
Okay, so you just plugged in your air hose machine?
Yeah, and water just kicked on in there.
Okay.
I heard the water kick on.
So it is working then. So what we're doing, guys, we're testing this because we're going to be breaking up our quail into separate pens tonight. All right, so are these filling up with water here?
They do. I have to first purge them and make sure there's no air. Yes, and they all have water in them already because I did it a while ago before I checked it.
So those are the waters for the quail.
Yeah.
Ow, a red ant's got me.
Yeah, we got a poly.
And I noticed the other day I started deep mulching underneath this because I was tired of the smell. Quail stink, period. And look what I found. Do you see them? That, friends, that is a gift from God. Look at this bed moving. Look at them everywhere. Not only are they composting this down for me at a tremendous rate into a usable, like, my dad wouldn't call it fertilizer. He would call it a soil amendment. But that's what they're doing. They're breaking down all this manure and bedding that I put over here, leaves and pine straw, hay, everything. They're just breaking it down at a rapid pace. I can use that in my garden to create a better soil structure, to put vitamins back in there. But I'm also going to be feeding these bad boys back to the quail and back to the chickens as a protein source as I remove them completely off of pelleted feed. Okay, so the chickens will come out of their coop in the mornings like they're doing now, and this will be deep mulched and full of black soldier larvae fly. This will be their protein source right here in the chicken run, where I'm not having to carry a bucket of soldier fly across 2 acres. They'll be able to come out in the mornings and eat their own proteins. That's important. Like we always say it, work smarter, not harder. And just a real quick thing on them. The deep, he just can't stand it when we video. On the deep mulch system, all right? This is what we're always talking about. How deep it is in here. This is like really, really, really deep. And when they get in here, guys, they tear it up. They just dig up larvae and all kind of great things, red wigglers. It's a good way. We have no odor in this pen. Not for this amount of chickens to be cooped in here together. It's not a very large pen, yet all these hens stay in here. So you need to think through your processes and the way that you're doing things. If you're getting odors in your chicken pens or your chicken runs, you need to do a deep mulch system. I don't know. Some people put lime. I'm just not going to go buy lime and do it. I've just read some things about lime being able to burn them, and I don't know. Why put lime when you can just bring in grass clippings, leaves, pine straw. We had the rabbit under the Raken House is back on that part. The chickens cannot, that's what the plastic is for, cannot get on top of the rabbit cages, but the rabbits can poo and pee, that's what this is, into the chicken pen. Then they in turn mulch that back up for me. This is my compost pile.
We will be having lower ones. It's just, this was my first one I did on the legs. And I do not trust the dog because they love stealing all my eggs on chicken eggs and everything else. So I do what I gotta do.
Yeah,
I
you
like
do.
My eggs.
We do. We like our eggs. What I was gonna tell you guys was, you saw a clip earlier where I showed you our another setup of quails that's across the property, and I had deep mulch underneath it because quails stink. They stink so bad. What was in that was black soldier larvae fly. Now, here is my thought. I'm going to do that same concept underneath this tall one. The point of that is, you see where the chicken run, when we walked into, this is actually the German Shepherd's pen. The chickens do a run through here during the day. Their coop is right behind me. We just shut that. They've got a place to lay eggs. This way I'm not losing eggs around the yard. I'm not going in those woods looking for eggs anymore. That's very dangerous at this time of year. So this is a way for me to secure my flock.
Yes, because we do have rattlesnakes out here.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we have water moccasins, rattlesnakes, copperheads. You have to be very, very careful. If you go in those woods, you need to have snake boots on, pants. I mean, like, I'm not searching for eggs in that. It's not worth it to me. So what we had to do is quit letting the chickens free range. So now they use the dog's kennel as a run during the day. They are in the chicken coop at night. Come on, guys. All right, so my husband, I guess, is fixing to show everybody how to put the rooster to sleep.
This isn't a rooster.
Oh, it's a hen?
This is a hen.
You
But they all the same. You're going to put her to sleep just as well as you can anything else. And it isn't hurting her. He took her head under her own wing and then set her down.
Oh, wait, let me turn it.
And she's asleep.
She's asleep. This always freaks everybody out.
She's not dead.
And she's not injured. She's really asleep. Okay. I don't even know what to say. Well, there's the dangers of putting your hens to sleep on the ground when the roosters are near, guys. I mean, I guess they're just going to take the opportunity.
All right. Good little female. Spotted up front. Males don't have all the spots. This one's got a little age on her. If you look and see, you see her beak. It's got that little point to it. We're gonna be putting her up in the new cage, but we're gonna put a little tray in there with sand.
So they can sandbag.
They can sandbathe. But the thing is, with sand, anything with grit, they'll take and rub their face on it, and it sharpens their beak. It'll
take that tip off.
Take off the tip. They did have a sand bath, but I had to move the sand bath because we was going in a smaller cage. Now the other ones are going to be smaller, but they're separated, and we're going to just find a smaller set of sand baths. But
now when you take them out, what else do you check other than their beak and their sex?
Their feet. I check their feet, their beak, their eyes. That's about it with them.
But why are you doing that? I mean, why is that even important?
Their health.
Their health, guys. It is your job to steward your livestock. Look, if you take the time to check weekly your livestock, to care for them, to check them, to really look them over. Yep, it takes a little bit of time, but you can stop disease before it spreads.
And another reason I want to do this too is because I'm going to take the boys, all the males, and take them out, because you can see there's no feathers. There's no feathers on the back of her head.
Right. Our chickens go through that.
The chickens go through it. The quails go through it. Needless to say, them boys are rough.
They are rough. So it is good to give your girls a break. Separate the males.
Separate them, and I'm going to let them get some feathers back on them.
We do that we rotate out our roosters, and when we do, we give the girls a week. The hens, we give them a week between putting new roosters in their pens. Guys, I mean, come on, they need a break. I mean, like, they just do. You're still going to get your eggs. You're going to get an egg even if you don't have a fertilized egg.
Move. Go play.
Okay, everybody, let's talk this setup. It's a good setup. The only thing that my husband and I didn't like was the fact that the quail on top would be able to urinate and pee on the quail below. Yes, there's tin and all of that, but then you have manure and urine just piling up on top of the cage below it. No matter what, and I've said this in so many of our videos, you cannot keep animals in their own manure and they be healthy. So to bring down the chance of disease, pests or drawing predators in a case like this, parasites, that kind of stuff, we simply are going to keep the pen separate. Will that take up more like space? Yes, but overall I think that will be the healthiest, safest way to raise our quail. We just want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Starkey Farmstead. Today we just want to offer you the opportunity to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. It's very simple, guys. You just have to believe it and you have to speak it out loud. So feel free to repeat this prayer after me. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask Jesus into my heart. Ask you to forgive me for my sin. Renew me, revitalize me, and pull everything in my life out by the roots that is not pleasing to you, Lord. Help me become a better person. And I thank you today, Lord, for my salvation. In Jesus' most precious name, you guys have a blessed and prosperous day.